CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
A tragic end to report on the search for a missing West Shore man whose body was found this morning on the shore of Anderson Cove in East Souk. Police say a passerby made the grim discovery just before 11 o'clock. Crews had been searching for 76-year-old Thomas Woods over the past 5 days after he disappeared from his home last Friday and failed to show up for a meeting with his daughter. Police say his death appears to be accidental.
Mr. Woods was found apparently deceased on his back on the beach. We have no idea how long he's been there. The coroner is continuing the investigation. There's no indication of any foul play, and from all appearances, it appears to be an accidental death.
Police say they have notified Woods' family. The investigation has been turned over to the BC Coroner's Service. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. A bombshell at the Missing Women's Inquiry in Vancouver today. Allegations that some of its workers have been sexually harassed by senior staff. Inquiry Commissioner Wally Opal is angry about it. He calls the charges regrettable and unfortunate. Opal says he has never gotten any formal complaints, but has hired a lawyer to investigate the allegations. Those claims are contained in a newspaper story. It doesn't say who raised the charges or who may be guilty or accused of sexist or derogatory comments. The inquiry is currently examining why and how Vancouver Police and the RCMP failed to catch serial killer Robert Pickton before 2002. Well, the Salvation Army is extending a helping hand to some of the less fortunate in the capital region this Easter season. The smell of turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy filled the air at the Sally Ann today. Volunteers were cooking up a storm as people dropped by for an early taste of an Easter meal. Organizers say they served more than 300 meals.
The people coming here today, they come from different areas of life. Some of them are homeless, some of them live on the street and come in and use our shelter from time to time. Others have their own place to live, but they're maybe working poor or on disability and things like that. So they can't afford some of the things. Once they pay their bills, maybe food is hard to come by. So to come here and be able to get a free meal that's provided by the donations of the public is really good for them.
And the Sally Ann is throwing an Easter party for children tomorrow. If you'd like your kids to attend, you can head down to the Salvation Army's Stan Hagen Center for Families on Quadra Street, Quadra and Hillside. The party starts tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. The Mustard Seed Food Bank is hoping to chip away at hunger. The nonprofit organization is taking a pile of wood chips to help raise money for the food bank. Western Stevedoring and the Greater Victoria Harbour Authority have donated the hog fuel after a ship carrying a load of Douglas fir to Japan was hit by a rogue wave off Vancouver Island, damaging the ship and the cargo. So the logs had to be offloaded at Ogden Point so the ship could be repaired. And now those wayward logs are being put to good use.
We're encouraging the people to come in with their wheelbarrows or half-ton trucks, whatever they can find, and make a donation to the Mustard Seed. We're always in need of support from the public, and here's giving something back thanks to the generosity coming from the Western Stevedore people.
The Mustard Seed is accepting cash only in donation in turn for the wood chips. If you'd like some fresh mulch, you can go to Ogden Point at Pier B this Friday or Saturday between 10 and 4 o'clock. Well, we now know the fate of that Japanese ghost ship adrift off the coast of BC, first spotted last month after the tsunami last year. The U.S. Coast Guard says it will sink it tomorrow morning. These are new pictures of the vessel, which has been adrift since the quake and tsunami in Japan in March. The U.S. Coast Guard says the ship has now entered American waters, is drifting towards Alaska, and is a major risk to marine traffic.
We're responsible for ensuring the safety of the environment, the safety of the maritime community, and this derelict Japanese fishing vessel, it's unmanned, it has no propulsion, and it doesn't have any lights on board it either, which makes it a serious risk to maritime traffic, especially at night, and then also during low light situations as well.
The Coast Guard says the owner of the boat was contacted but did not want to salvage the ship. A cannon will be used to try to blast a hole in the hull tomorrow to sink it. The president of the BC Teachers Federation is lying low tonight after a letter surfaced in which she urges Charles Jaco, the newly appointed mediator in the fight between the province and the teachers, to step aside. BCTF President Susan Lambert says in the letter that Jago should withdraw his services because she feels he is not qualified for the position and may be biased in favor of the Liberal government. Jago has never worked as a mediator, but he has worked with the Liberals in the past. In 2006, he wrote a report for the BC Progress Board. The BCTF also claims that he helped to draft Bill 22, the back-to-work legislation on teachers. Education Minister George Abbott was at an elementary school in Surrey today. He denies Lambert's claim that Jago had anything to do with the legislation. He says the BCTF is operating on faulty information.
The only thing I've seen today is a comment from Ms. Lambert that she regretted I presume the premature release of this letter and that it had gone viral. So whether they intended to release it or not, I don't know. So we'll wait until we actually get some confirmation of what was intended, and then we'll make some decision about how to respond to it.
The letter written by Lambert was posted on the Langley Teachers Association blog on Tuesday, but it was taken down in a matter of minutes. There's uncertainty for federal government employees rolling across the country tonight as word of public service job cuts comes that they may be deeper than first expected, and it has people on Vancouver Island worried as well. The union leaders say more than 19,000 public service workers will soon find themselves off the job. The Department of National Defence is first on the chopping block, with 1,100 civilian jobs being eliminated across the country, including 52 civilian posts at CFB Esquimalt. Some pink slips have gone out already. Others are expected next week.
Base management here is trying to get the word out, not only to those members who are adversely affected, but those who aren't affected, so that they can get on with their lives. The level of angst is affecting all employees here.
More than 2,000 civilians work at CFB Esquimalt in jobs varying from administration to food service and weapons technicians. Federal Finance Minister Jim Flaherty says the more than 19,000 job cuts will primarily be what he calls back office common sense cuts made over the next 3 years. The changes, Ottawa says, will improve efficiency and productivity in the ranks of the federal civil service. Job cuts coming at the CBC, 650 positions going over the next 3 years, 475 coming this year in an effort to cope with the $115 million funding cut spread over 3 years in the recent budget. Also to go will be pricey CBC real estate, international radio reporting, some news, music and sports programming. The CBC says it will also begin to sell ads on the radio, which it hasn't done. No word yet how many jobs may be affected at CBC operations on Vancouver Island. RCMP and the Nanaimo are looking for a man who robbed the Petro-Canada station on Nickel Street at knife point last night. Here's a look at the surveillance camera video. It happened just after 9:30. Most of it was caught on the surveillance system. Mounties say the man came through the front door with a toque on, and he quickly pulled a mask up over his face. He then got the knife out and demanded that the clerk hand over the cash.
We were on scene within minutes, and we had our police dog services there, but unfortunately we weren't able to track him. Good description, video's been provided, and we're hoping we'll get some hits either through Crime Stoppers or somebody will come forward and identify this person. What was unique was the gloves were a brown and black with a fingerless, so that might get somebody's attention.
RCMP say the robbers between 25 and 30 years old, about 5'10", 200 pounds. Officers hope you recognize the man. If you can make out who it is or know anything about the holdup, you're asked to contact Nanaimo RCMP or do it anonymously at Crime Stoppers.